Hello, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. Today, we're going to dig deep what is the real meaning of human person flourishing in terms of science and technology, or simply the human flourishing. From the word itself, flourishing, it is simply a state where people feel positive emotions, feel positive, or experience rather any positive behaviors, any positive psychological functioning, or any positive interaction with people within the society. And if we're going to combine the two words, which are human and flourishing, obviously we're gonna get the word human flourishing, right? So human flourishing, it is simply a key or an effort for you to fully achieve the self-actualization. And in terms of self-actualization, we're going to dig deep on that on our next slide. So you can see self-actualization was placed on the very top of the pyramid. And this pyramid is also called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, or basically the hierarchy of needs. Kung makikita dito, dito yung psychological needs, safety needs, belongingness and love needs, so on and so forth. Pag na-achieve mo na itong mga bagay na nasa baba ng self-actualization, nagiging fully developed ka na, wherein you have the capability to not just think about yourself, but also the common good of others, wherein you can help others, those people who are in need as well. And if we're going to talk more about the human flourishing, ang laging pinag-uusapan dito is all about the happiness. So I do have one question for everyone, which is, what is happiness from your own perspective? So from my end, for me, happiness is something like you're able to help those people in need, kasi that's what my happiness is. Pag nakakatulong ako sa ibang tao, especially out of makakasalubong mo sila, then hihingi sila sa'yo pag, kahit maliit na bagay, nagiging masaya ako dun. And I'm not the one who will define happiness, kasi yung happiness is subjective. It differs from one person to another. And just so you know, yung happiness, na-define ito ng tatlong fields na meron tayo. Ito yung mga iba't ibang fields. The first field na define nila happiness is psychology, and they define it as a mental or emotional state of well-being which can be defined by, among others, positive or pleasant emotion ranging from contentment to intense joy. And as well as behaviorist or behaviorism, happiness is a cocktail of emotions where we experience when we do something good or positive. And lastly, neurologists, or simply the doctors who are specializes or who studies human nervous system, they define it as the flood or any experience or the experience of the flood of hormones released in the brain as a reward for behavior that prolongs survival. And we do have two views in terms of happiness. We do have hedonistic and as well as eudaimonia. And the hedonistic view of well-being is that the happiness is the polar opposite of suffering. The presence of happiness indicates the absence of pain. Because of this, hedonists believe that the purpose of life is to maximize happiness, which minimizes misery. In simple words, sinasabi dito, for you to be able to feel good, for you to be able to feel the happiness, you gawin mo lahat ng gusto mong gawin para maramdaman mo yung saya, and also to minimize the extreme sadness na nararamdaman mo. And that is the meaning of the hedonistic. While on the other hand, we do have eudaimonia. It is simply a Greek words which is good and spirit that are combined and it is simply defines happiness as the pursuit of becoming a better person. It is simply shows or ipinapakita dito yung differences nilang dalawa. Kasi dito sa hedonistic, the absence indicates the absence of pain or of pain. It simply indicates na dito sa hedonistic, it's more of a feeling. It's more of a pleasure. Kasi dito sa eudaimonia, mas malalim to na degree wherein there is an application of action for you to feel happiness. At ayun yung pagiging mabuting tao or becoming a better person. And as well as, or in addition, eudaimonists do this by challenging themselves intellectually or by engaging in activities that makes them spiritually richer people. And ayun nga, sa pinag-usapan natin about eudaimonia, it is a good spirit or good-spirited. And it is proposed by, or it was coined by Aristotle. And simply describes that the pinnacle of happiness that is attainable by humans, and eudaimonia is sub under human flourishing kasi nga ang eudaimonia, for you to be able to feel happiness, kailangan mong gumawa ng mabuti. And that is human flourishing. Tama, di ba? Ito pinag-usapan natin kanina. And as well as moving forward dito sa, it is somehow a table wherein it clearly describes kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng hedonia from eudaimonia. And we're going to talk about that, and mababasa natin ito horizontally and vertically from left to right for eudaimonia and bottom to top for hedonia. Kung makikita niyo dito yung hedonia, it's more on pleasure, gaya nga ng sabi ko kanina. And eudaimonia, it's more on purpose. It's more of an application of actions. Let's move on sa the sweet life, which is dun muna tayo sa eudaimonia. Kasi nga sa sweet life, ito yung bagay na fully develop ka na wherein you can help people, those who are in need. Pag nakakatulong ka, syempre, yung purpose mo, you're gonna have the fulfilled life. While on the other hand, the empty life or the emptiness that you are in now, pag nandito ka sa empty life, syempre, you will feel boring, resulting to have the dry life. Syempre, since nasa purpose tayo, if you feel that way, you feel that your life is boring, you have to look for something for you to be able to find your purpose in life. And as well as, dun tayo sa hedonia, which is from bottom to top, the empty life or emptiness. Basically, it's more on pleasure. Siyempre, for you to be able, pag empty yung life nyo, if you feel emptiness, or if you lack something, you have to move dun sa sweet life for you to be able to feel the pleasure or to feel good. While on the other hand, sa the dry life or boring life, if you want to feel good or if you want to feel the pleasure, syempre, kailangan mo pumunta sa fulfilled life for you to feel good, right? So, that is the big difference between the hedonia, which is the pleasure, and eudaimonia, which talks more about the purpose. And moving forward, the happiness or human flourishing is also defined by Nicomachean ethics, wherein philosophy inquiry into the nature of the good life for human being. And they simply explains that human flourishing arises as a result of different components such as phronesis, friendship, wealth, and power. In simple words, for you to be able, may mga iba't ibang components to make us happy. Ito yung pronesis. The first on the list is yung pronesis nga. Pronesis, it is simply um you're making a right decisions for you, and you're also thinking about common good. Common good. To sum it all up, this about dun sa pronesis, for you, it is more of your thinking right for the common good of others. And as well as the friendship, sa friendship naman, may mga tao kasi na they are happy when they are accompanied by their friends, or they are surrounded with people that who can or they are simply surrounded with those people na who they can trust, yung pagkakatiwalaan nila. And thirdly, or third on the list, which is the wealth, it's more of a kalusugan. Pag healthy yung katawan mo, syempre, magiging masaya ka na. Kasi may mga ganung tao na masaya sila pag nakita lang malusog yung family nila, malusog yung mga tao na nakapaligid sila. And lastly, we do have power. It talks more about the money. Kasi pag syempre, pag may mga tao na marami silang pera at pag may pera sila, nagiging masaya sila. If they feel yung na superior sila dahil may pera sila, and that's their happiness, wala tayong magagawa kasi sumasaya sila dahil sa pera nila. And as well as in ancient Greek society, they have believed that acquiring this will surely bring the seekers happiness, which in effect allows them to partake in the greater notion of what we call the good. Sinasabi lang dito sa Greek society na naniniwala sila na pag meron sila nung apat na nun, or even one of those components, it will bring happiness dun sa tao. And it will also partake in the greater notion of what we call the good or kabutihan. At as the time changes, element that comprise human flourishing change. So sinasabi dito, habang tumatakbo yung oras, nagbabago yung human flourishing o yung components na nagbubuo sa human flourishing. And as well as lastly, people found means to live more comfortably, explore more places, develop more products, and make more money. And that is how the Greek society believes in happiness. Moving forward, we do have this Eastern concept and Western concept. They also have their own definition and how they believe in happiness. Sa Eastern conception kasi, we are also included in this kasi we're part of the Eastern countries. So, sinasabi dito, ito naman, talks more about community-centric. In simple word, sinasabi dito, they are focused on community, kaya nga community-centric. And while on the other hand, Western conception, it talks more about the individual. They focus more on themselves, sa kanilang mga sarili, kasi nga individual. And in addition to the Eastern conception, individual should sacrifice himself for the sake of the society. And while on the Western, human flourishing, they have believed that the human flourishing as an end. At yung mga views at ang mga paniniwalaan dito sa Eastern at sa Western is that yung Eastern is more focused on Chinese Confucian system and as well as the Japanese Bushido. While dito sa Western, they more focused on one view, which is yung view ni Aristotle or yung mga paniniwala ni Aristotle. At dito naman sa Eastern conception, for you to feel happiness or for you to achieve your full potential or human flourishing, you have to study varieties of subjects. including literature, sciences, and art for the ultimate good of a greater cause. While on the Western, they have believed na ang kailangan ng pag-aralan is yung eudaimonia for you to achieve the ultimate good or for you to achieve happiness. Moving forward to science, technology, and human flourishing, they have explained that every discovery, innovation, and success contributes to our pool of human knowledge. In simple words, sinasabi lang dito na ang lahat ng mga discovery, innovation, at success na natututunan natin ay hindi na nagbibigay talino sa atin. Kung hindi, nagbibigay rin ito o dapat gamitin natin ang mga knowledge na meron tayo sa mabuting paraan. And And moving forward, humans' perpetual need to locate himself in the world by finding proofs to trace evolution, and it elicits our idea of self-importance, and technology is a human activity we excel in as a result of achieving science. And lastly, good is inherently related to the truth. And that is all about the science, technology, and human flourishing. And as well as moving forward, science as methods and results. Science stems from objectivity brought upon by a rigid method in it claim to reason and empiricism. Sinasabi lang dito na lahat ng mga theories or mga inventions ay nagdaan sa rigid method or nagdaan sa masuring or patterns para mapatunayan ito or simply para mabuo ito. And it also claimed to reason and empiricism. Dumaan din ito sa malalim na pagdadahilan and as well as empiricism. And these are the steps na pinagdadaanan nito. We have the 6 steps, which are observe, determine the problem, formulate hypothesis, conduct the experiment, gather and analyze, and lastly, formulate conclusions and provide recommendations. And these are what we call the scientific method. And moving forward, we have the verification theory. From the word itself, verification, or the root word verify, it is simply says na bine-verify lahat ng mga theories. And a discipline is science if it can be confirmed or interpreted in the event of an alternative hypothesis being accepted. It is also premium on empiricism. And lastly, takes into account those results which are measurable and experiment which are repeatable. In simple words, lahat ng mga experiments na paulit-ulit or simply measurable ay pwedeng ma-verify. Kasi nga lahat ng mga experiment or theories rather ay ito ay nag-open for more further research. Kasi pag naglalak yung mga research mo, may kulang sa research mo, it will urge you to look for more answers, right? And moving forward to falsification theory, as long as an ideology is not proven to be false and can be explained a phenomenon over alternative theories, we should accept the said ideology. Sinasabi lang dito, as long as yung ideya ng isang scientist or yung gumawa ng idea na ito ay hindi pa napuproven na mali, we can accept it as long as it can best explain a phenomenon over alternative theories. And secondly, allowed emergence of the theories otherwise rejected by the verification theory. And and it encourages research in order to determine which among the theories can stand the test of falsification. Sinasabi lang dito lahat ng mga theories na ginagawa ng mga scientists ay dumadaan sa falsification theory. At lahat ng mga lahat ng mga research or theories kailangan mas stand yung test of falsification. Lahat yun ng mga theories dumadaan sa falsification. Or ayun ang ibig sabihin ng falsification theory. And lahat ng mga pinag-aralan natin from dun sa human flourishing, ang sinasabi lang rito or it simply explains or it simply tells us na lahat ng mga natutunan natin sa science, we should apply it for the common good of others. And that is the lesson that you have learned regarding this human flourishing, falsification, and technologies and science. And I hope you have learned something from me. And that's all. Thank you for listening.